And I wanted to ask you another question because you were here maybe 3 years ago, 4 years
Yeah.
ago, something like that. But you seem to be vibrating on a super high frequency right now. Nomi. Like your work seems like super relevant, super cutting edge. This video we recorded earlier was on point. There's a special event that's locked around it as well. But like, what's changed in you the last few years? Because you seem to be, in some ways, at your best right now. And I don't know if you would agree with me or not, but you seem to be, I don't know, really firing on all cylinders. And I'm wondering, first of all, if you agree with me, and second of all, why you think that is.
That's really interesting, Brian. I haven't really thought about it, but I do feel like I do feel sort of, I guess, an internal energy that I don't know if I've always felt recently, and maybe that's something that's sort of coming into all of the different kinds of work that I've done. I think that I actually feel, I don't know if I would use the exact same terms, I appreciate them, the sort of vibrancy or whatever, but I do feel a sort of clarity in all of the pieces of all of the work that I'm doing, and I kind of see them as all connecting, I think, in a way that I don't know if I have before. Be like, oh, this is happening, so I think this is happening, I'm going to write this book. But I think a lot of what I've done over the years has really come together for me in a way that makes it super clear to me what's going on, and perhaps that's what's coming across. Right, when we see things clearly, we're not fatigued, we're not tired, right? We're on it, right? Because you don't have time to sort of waver because you see what's right there, and I think that might be a part of it.
Yeah, you seem very aligned. You also seem, when you talk about these points, that it's very important that people understand them. And it seems almost like you're the messenger. You're like, I'm maybe here, put on this earth to give these messages to the planet so it can see what's happening and, fix it, make amends, understand it. And yeah, that seems clearer than ever.
Yeah, thanks for that. I mean, I believe in people. I mean, the reality is I always have. And I think armed with clarity, knowledge, sort of understanding, I mean, it makes us all more secure no matter what we have to deal with, whether it's financial or physical, whatever it is. I think it just, if I can bring that to people, then, that makes me happy.
Yeah. Well, I think clarity comes from being congruent. And it started maybe that first day when you walked out of Goldman, or you walked out of these places that you thought, they weren't aligned with your values. And then you probably had to go and figure out, what am I going to do? And oh my gosh, and I'm never going to make that money again. And and then you're like, okay, I'm going to do this. But you made those choices to go on a more difficult path, but one that felt more aligned to who you are. And now you're experiencing this clarity based probably on all of this work that you did of choosing not to do maybe the easy thing or not to do the obvious thing. And now, yeah, maybe this is kind of the fruits of being super aligned with what you're doing. And I always tell people, like, I have a lot of my students come to me and say, I don't know what my passion is. I don't know what to do with my life. And I'm like, you do know. The problem is that your brain is full of so much information that it can't connect. And I think one of my guests one time had said the longest 18 inches in the world is the distance between your head and your heart.
Oh, wow.
And if you can connect them, I believe we all deep down know what we need to do.
Yeah.
No matter what age you are.
Right.
The problem is that our brain gets in the way, and other information gets in the way, and people's opinions, and so it's sometimes really hard to really know what you want.
Yeah.
But if you can get that clarity, it will send you in the right direction.
Yeah,
I
I agree.
Yeah. And for me, leaving Wall Street was like the best decision I ever made. It was also terrifying,
Sure.
and but ultimately, it's given me the most happiness.
Yeah.
What's next for you? 5 years from now, well, you'll be back before then, of course, but like, say 5 years from now, we're having the same conversation in 27. What will Nomi be doing then? What will your life look like? What will you have done? What will you be doing?
That's a great question. I feel like I'm at a point, and I'm still going through this point where I look at things sort of on a large scale basis, on how is this going to impact this country, this world, this sort of transition. And I think I want to go small. I think what I want to do over that time period is actually spend more time in sort of smaller locations, sort of more on the ground and in life and talking with people than necessarily having to connect it to sort of big ideas, but maybe just have that come from a smaller place and more patience and more time spent in small towns and small villages. Just basically with people rather than so looking at the big picture. Like I feel like I want to kind of invert that as my next.
That's interesting.
Sort of thing.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. It's almost like It's almost like, it's like a Chinese master would say, all right, now you must go small. And you're like, what do you mean?
Sound of the one clapping hand.
Yeah, exactly.
But it
makes sense somehow.
Yeah.
It makes sense. You'll probably learn a ton by doing that. The book is Permanent Distortion, How the Financial Markets Abandoned the Real Economy Forever. It's available, I'm guessing, in the usual sources.
Yeah.
We get an Audible version as well.
Yes, there's an Audible version.
But you're not going to do the Audible.
I didn't. Actually, the same woman that narrated Collusion, who was so wonderful. Again, my publisher asked me to choose from all these other people. And I was like, well, what about Ellen? And they're like, oh, right. I'm like, she did such a great job on my last book. So Ellen Archer is the Audible narrator who does a fabulous job of this book, as she did with Collusion.
Okay. Excellent. Good. And again, I'll say one last thing. If people want to learn about Enron 2.0 and something distressing, but also something very potentially interesting, there's a link below, londonreal.tv/Nomi. It's something we just recorded, but it won't be on our social platforms. So go watch that right now. And you can also go to a free event that you're holding where you're going to be going deeper on that. So thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
And it's always great to see you.
Yeah,
it's just really impressive, Nomi, and you're just an incredible voice out there. And it's great to have you as kind of I feel like we have this kind of elite financial advisor team that comes in and airdrops here on London Real every now and then. You're definitely one of those members. So all the best. Can't wait for everybody to read the book and watch the video. And we'll see you next time you're in London.
Thank you so much again, Brian. Thank you.
All right, my pleasure. We'll see everybody next time on London Real. Take care. Bye. Hey, do you want to profit from crypto? Then join my DeFi Academy. The Crypto DeFi Academy will help you create generational wealth. But don't take my word for it. Listen to my students.
When I first got into crypto, I remember thinking to myself, I need to learn more. Brian Rose, learning crypto, learning DeFi, gotta do it.
I am so grateful that I jumped in and did this. I had to break through some limiting beliefs that I can do this, that I can afford this, that I can be in this.
It challenges the things that are deeply rooted within us.
Joining DeFi Academy has been one of the best decisions I have made on my blockchain journey.
This course was a life changer, a game changer, a huge eye-opener, coming from knowing practically nothing at the speed of the learning over 4 weeks was just fantastic.
The information you provided in this class was invaluable.
I feel far more confident in my next steps.
You took complex concepts and made them easier to understand.
What's different than so many other ones is it just doesn't tell you what to do. It actually makes you do it.
This is for people who are serious about becoming traders. This is the way it should be done.
I realized from this learning experience again that it is not about what you learn, but about who you learn it from.
The energy was insane. I've never experienced such incredible energy on a live call. Brian Rose, you are a legend, my friend.
It's the only thing in the market where you can get all information and learn everything what you need to know.
Everything is so clear and so well done, and I'm just forever grateful for this program.
It made me feel so much more confident about crypto than I did before.
I did not anticipate how passionate I was going to become about it.
It's also been like a big learning experience for me, not just in the crypto space, but just in overall balance of life.
What I've learned is, how to take ownership, of my life in a way that I really hadn't before.
Yeah, you can't put a price on that, really.
I would recommend it to anybody, top notch.
Excellence does not come cheap. So if you want excellence, you got to pay for it, but it's so worth it.
Pull the trigger. That's what this course is about.
You're not going to regret it, really. It's amazing.
Thank you, Brian and team.
So what are you waiting for? Crypto is happening now. Click the link below, submit your application, and let me mentor you on how to create generational wealth and build the decentralized financial infrastructure of the future.